removing demonic war energies and reducing suffering in the war zones. Ugh. Whoa! So everything that just brings up. Do you choose to release, let go, and or allow all that to be removed from your reality now? And everything that says no, that you can't do this, you actually can. So all those energies out, 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 out. Banish, vanquish, banish, vanquish, banish, vanquish. Yeah, and when we have conflicts and wars that come up, it activates like hidden upsets, hidden worries that we have, and the collective energy and all humanity has built into their DNA from all these past struggles. Well, so everything the current conflict in Ukraine brings up around war, ugh, how it ties into World War One, World War Two, the Third Reich, ugh, and then all the parts about like potential nuclear war, ugh, World War Three, ugh, the Fourth Reich, and anything around aggression. Ugh, whew, yikes! Everything that brings up. Do you choose to release, let go, and/or allow me to remove from that from your reality now? Ah, yes, I choose that. Whoosh, out, 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 vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. And one of the things that can come up around all this stuff is when we have war, aggression, violence, demonic forces, ugh, yeah, kind of come in to feed on those energies and to push people who are being aggressive to be even more aggressive. Ugh. So what we're going to do is we're going to access and remove those energetic forces. Ugh. So all the entities, demonic forces, ugh, and all the exploiters, corruptors, tricksters, and any of the gods, any of the evil gods, any of the gods of war. Ugh. So any of the gods, so all the entities, demonics, aliens, reptilians, parasitics, beings, doings, gods, woo, false light beings, non-contributive light beings, woo, non-contributive angels, non-contributive angelic helpers, wah, and any exploiters, corrupters, taxers, tricksters that are involved in this conflict or in any wars or any aggressions. Woo. Freeze all, pre-scan all, pre-tag all, pre-ID all, pre-encapsulate all. Wah. And where were we, the infinite beings, at their creation? Assembly, gilding, source, inception, insertion, copying, cloning, modification, or other. Ugh. Freeze all, pre-scan all, pre-tag all, pre-ID all, pre-encapsulate all, and whoosh, out, 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 out. Banish, vanquish, banish, vanquish, banish, vanquish, banish, vanquish. Ah, okay, that's a lot quieter. And one of the things that's going to happen is because this war is kind of like up in our world, it's up in the news, social media, is that when you perceive it, when a post comes up, when something comes up, what's going to happen is it reactivates all these things because they're kind of like deep within us, and you're also tapping into everybody else's upsets around the world around all this. So I'm going to recommend that anytime that you do that, you see something around the war, these upsets, is you run just a quick energetic clearing. So everything that accessing that post, that social media, just seeing that brought up, just release, 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 let go, let go, let go. Now, one of the things can happen is you can feel like it's not even okay for you to release any of your feelings around it because it's so wrong and there's so many people that are suffering. Blah! Yeah, so everywhere it's wrong for you just to release those feelings because there's so many people suffering, and it's not okay for you to be okay when other people are suffering so much. Blah! Yeah, do you choose just to release everything that just is just bringing up? Yes, I choose that. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. Because as we talked about in our conversation last week, is you suffering doesn't help people who are suffering. Yeah, right. And it seems like this is this funky thing, but if you release some of your suffering around this, you can start making changes. You can actually do some things that'll make a difference in their lives, the lives of people are suffering. Because you just holding on to suffering doesn't actually help them. Blech. So everything that brought up, do you choose to release and let all that go? Yes, I choose that. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. So we're going to be doing some stuff to change that, to actually ease the suffering. Feel your body's release on that because you so want to help them. You so want to help remove the suffering that they're going through. Yeah. And the thing is, you actually can. Now, one of the tricks around all of this stuff is while you would like to release all their suffering, remove all their suffering, you actually can't. So everything that brought up, release, release, release. Now, and part of it is like, can we really can't? Well, yes and no. Well, because we're energetic beings, we actually can change anything instantly. but there's certain things that we can't really do. So for example, somebody who is really suffering, if you went up to them, like let's say someone's really suffering from a loss of a loved one. Ugh, yikes. And there are a lot of people doing that right now. If you came up to them and say, hey, I'm just going to release all the suffering you have about your loss, they probably would go, well, wait, this is serious. This is a big deal. I do need to grieve. So you can't really, so you removing all their suffering really wouldn't help them. Ugh, and they wouldn't really allow it. But instead, if you came up and said, hey, I see you're really suffering, can I release a little bit of that? Can I make it just a little bit better for you? And they probably go, oh, yeah, if you can make it just a little bit better, then I can handle it and move on. Woo. And that's one of the things that happens when we try to energetically change something. We often try to change the whole thing. Woo, yikes, yikes. Which one is really huge, and it might not actually be possible to really fully change it. But one of the things I found is that when someone's really suffering, when someone's in overwhelm, if you reduce that just a little bit, remove it from complete overwhelm to, well, this is still pretty tough, but they can deal with it and move through it, that creates so much change. So that's one of the things that you as an energetically aware person can do. And we together can do a lot more. So no matter when you're watching this video, the energies that you add to it is going to help relieve the suffering that so many people in this conflict are going through. Blah! So everything that brought up, do you choose to release, let go, and or allow all that to be removed from your reality now? Yes, I choose that. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. So what we're going to do is we're going to be looking to shift some things in this conflict, in this war, to make things just a little bit better. Yeah. So everywhere making things just a little bit better isn't enough. And the only way it could be enough is if we completely changed everything. Yeah. Everywhere that actually prevents the change from happening, prevents any change from happening. Whoa. Ooh, do you feel that? It prevents any change from happening. So your desire to actually completely change this conflict, to release it, stop it, so the war completely stops, actually prevents you from creating a smaller amount of change that actually will work. And so that's one of the things that this whole energetic world messes with us. Because they kind of tell you that, oh, you can change anything. Um, but when we can't fully change something and you try to change it, nothing changes. So instead, you want to change it as much as you can change it, or that much as it's allowed to change in this moment. Okay, and so let's just do a quick thing around that. So what's all the energy, the contributive change that we can add, we can to shift the energy and the war and suffering in the Ukraine? Bleh, so everywhere it's just like this one big tangle, so that you can't see or access where it's a contribution for you to do. So all the tangle twistingness around all this conflict, making it hard or impossible for you to see what contribution you can make. Do you choose to remove and destroy all that? Woo, yes, I choose that. Retract, rescind, revoke, recant, renounce, make null and void, make null and void, make null and void. Okay, so what? So let's just like play with what energies we can send to change this conflict. To what contributive energies can we send to make a contributive change in this conflict? Okay, so you notice there's more kind of a query there. It's like, what? What is that? Because once again, is our intention, we would totally like to end this war and stop it. But what if we can't do that, but instead we can create a shift to make it just a little bit better? Well, there we go. So what contributive shift can you make, can we make to change and shift this conflict? Ooh, ooh, there you go. Ooh, nice. Yeah. And that was just, and that we didn't even really have to do anything. We just like tapped into the energy. What could we do? And just tapping in, asking that question actually, one, allowed us to perceive what we could change and then change it. Awesome. Okay, now what I really want to do now is to do some things to help relieve the suffering of all the people that are suffering in this war zone. Yikes. And this is like I mentioned before, we want to only change what we can change. Because like why you would want to like wipe out all their suffering, we actually can't. But we can remove just enough, even just a little bit, that can actually create a huge change, make it so much easier for them. Okay. And then the other part around this is while you want to change it for all the people that are suffering, there's some people that won't receive it. Ugh, yikes. Yeah. And you're going, well, why wouldn't they want to receive it if we're going to help them? Well, in some ways, it's kind of like you're walking down the street and somebody says, hey, let me take you out to dinner. And you'd probably be like, I don't know you. I'm not sure I want to eat. I'm not really hungry. Um, it's like that. So there's no judgment that they don't want to receive it. But when you try to force something, even if it's like a great gift, it doesn't work. They resist it. So what we're going to do is we're going to gift energies to people who it would be a contribution to, and contribution is not just to them, it's also for you. So that kind of limits like people who we don't want to help. Ugh, yikes, vaporize, liquefy. So we're going to gift energy that would be a contribution to them and to you, and also the people who would accept that change. Oh, do you feel how things got a lot easier? How like now it's almost like just an easy gift, right? So what energies, support, nurturing, and healing can you gift to the people in the Ukraine who are suffering, who would be a contribution to gift to, and they would also receive your gift? Whoa, awesome. Now let's just take that energy and just gift, and just intend that you're gifting it, and that's going to go where it's a contribution to go. So let's do that again. So, what energies, support, nurturing, and healing can you gift to people in the Ukraine zone who it would be a contribution to gift to, and they would also receive your gift? Ah, gift, gift, whoa, gift, gift. Oh, awesome. Yeah, and that's something you can do each time too. You can just intend to gift to who it's a contribution to gift to and who would receive that. Awesome. Yeah, so I know that this is a really tough time for a lot of people. So if you need some extra support, leave me a comment below, message me, and I'm happy to help. So I'm Max Riggs, Energetic Awareness and Empowerment Coach, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.